All right, welcome back. All right, hot off the presses of the old Daily Common Sensocrat comes this next story, right? Secretary Rollins prevents illegal aliens from receiving taxpayer-funded SNAP benefits, right? Somehow, some way, this is going to be controversial. I don't know how, but it will. The generosity of the American taxpayer has long been abused by faulty interpretation of the 1996 Welfare Reform Law. Wow, said the Secretary of Agriculture, Brooke Rollins. Today's notice makes it clear its intent. Illegal aliens should not receive government money. This effort is one of many by the Department of Agriculture to eliminate waste, fraud, and abuse of the USDA's programs and policies. Now, these efforts should be applauded, but something tells me that a certain faction in America will take issue with these things, right? And I wanted the opinion of our next guest on this story. Please welcome to the show, Dr. Carol Swain. Dr. Swain, thank you very much for taking the time. Always want to hear your points of view, and especially on this one with the SNAP benefits. The USDA saying that illegal aliens shouldn't get them. Seems like a common sense thing to me, but I'm sure there's going to be a faction in America that thinks that's very wrong.
Well, to me, that decision perfectly aligns with the position that we are going to crack down on illegal migration. We're going to be tough with people who are in the country who are unauthorized. So I'm pleased that Secretary Rollins made that announcement. I was dismayed a few weeks ago, though, when the news was that she was pressing for amnesty for illegal workers in some industries. So I think it's a mixed bag, but this is a step in the right direction. And of course, the left, they scream about everything. They will scream about this too.
Okay, so yeah, I think she's had to take a course redirect when it comes to the amnesty. They're going after farming and hotels now, just like they're going after everything else. I don't think that didn't go over very well, right? But here's my next question to you: is a lot of the, I read a lot of research a lot, and for some reason, and it makes me feel like, I'm just trying to get to heaven like everybody else on this earth, but everybody continue when they talk about illegal immigrants, or at least the worst first, and all those debates. It seems to me that people are not taking into consideration that folks that came in, not through a port of entry, illegally broke into this country, they're giving them a pass. And I don't understand why that's the case. I think every illegal immigrant, discussion could always be shut down in 3 seconds by saying, I don't care if it happened 30 years ago or 3 days ago. If they came into the country illegally and they get caught up in the net of people looking for the worst first, you're gone. Why are they trying to make me feel like a bad guy for being commonsensical?
Well, Scott, they've already trained you to say illegal immigrant rather than illegal alien, which has been the government description for people in the country unauthorized, for decades. And I think that in this discussion, language is being manipulated, and also the biblical worldview. Leviticus 19 is quoted all the time. And what they don't follow up with is a discussion of the fact that immigration in the Bible, the migrants or strangers in the land were expected to follow the laws of the land, even to worship as the Israelites did. We know that the people who have crossed the borders into the United States without proper documentation, that they want to have everything in their own way, and we have not demanded very much of them until recently.
Yeah, and so I don't know why, but it seems like the mainstream media, even the mainstream media on the right, Dr. Swain, is slowly but surely turning their back on the fact that these people broke into the country in the first place. And I don't want to let that go. That, to me, is a qualifying factor of why you should be asked to leave the country. Look, I have a British passport. I followed the rules to become a British citizen for 7 years. I never once would have thought to do what these people are doing. My wife's family came over in 1967 from Serbia. They became citizens in 1975. They never once would have thought of flouting the law to do what these people are doing. But now we're supposed to forget about that and say that they've been a good person for 20 years, so we should forget about the fact that they broke in here in the first place?
I mean, it's even more serious. This is not a Democrat issue. Democrats and Republicans have worked together to keep illegal migration going, because there are people that do want a new slave class. They want people that they can work at cheap wages. And they don't like American workers so much because American workers have demands. They expect certain things. And so it's much easier to work with the people that are afraid because you can manipulate them in ways that you could never manipulate an American a citizen. There's an extra means of control. We need to end that, and we need to pay Americans the wages that would encourage more people to work in those industries. And I find when I travel across the country, in many states, you see American workers, white and black, doing the jobs that we're told that Americans won't do.
You're exactly right. I've seen that happen as well, too. There's been stories written about it, too. It's just amazing. I appreciate you coming on. Thank you very much. Love having what you have to say. Everybody can't wait to hear what you have to say. Big fans here for Dr. Carol Swain, RFD TV. Thank you for being on. All right. I want to take a final quick look at the ag commodities before we go home for the day.